What's up, YouTubers? This is HK here, bringing you a review on today's Naruto Shippuden, episode 454, is it? Yep. So yeah, we're still on the Itachi arc, and I have to say, man, this episode was beyond phenomenal. Okay, what I mean by that, I mean it was great. This was probably hands down one of the best episodes in terms of animation, in terms of artwork, and in terms of bloody story that we have gotten in ages. I mean, seriously, believe the hype, guys. This Itachi arc is bloody brilliant. Last week's episode was a bit of a lighter tone, considering the first two episodes we got before that were very depressing, actually. So last week's one was kind of acceptable. I mean, the beginning part of it was great, and the ending part was just, you know, it was depressing after all that light stuff we got in the middle. And the middle part was a bit meh kind of a situation, but I guess it was necessary in order to show the friendship that Itachi developed with his team before they were annihilated by Toby, and obviously explaining how he awakened the Sharingan. In the novel, it's a bit different. In the novel, he awakens it during the Nine Tails attack, I think. I've not read it, I've just read a summary of it. But yeah, a lot of things are different from this to the novel, and I feel like the anime is doing a much better job than the novel did, because the novel, from what I read, was a bit of a depressing, darkened mess, but this is kind of balancing it. And today's episode is like, it's back to form again in terms of what you'd expect from an Itachi episode. But this is not just an Itachi episode, this is a Shisui episode. You've got Itachi and Shisui together. And holy shit, this episode does such a great job to develop their friendship. If Sasuke is Itachi's younger little brother, then Itachi is Shisui's younger little brother. And you kind of see that mentality, that kind of friendship, that kind of brotherhood being formed with these two. And it's so bloody beautiful and great, and the artwork and the animation especially, you can tell that they had an A-grade animator working on this, because a lot of the movements and a lot of the just like the basic kind of movements they do and the action sequences towards the end were just crazy. Like, you don't see this kind of stuff in Shippuden anymore. So to see it here, it's like, whoa, like it blows your expectations of what you'd think would happen, and like it's just a great episode, just a very fun episode overall. Sorry there. So overall, you start with Itachi at home, obviously, and he's flashbacking to that moment when his friend got killed by Toby. And all his dad is really going on about is how proud he is that he's unlocked the Sharingan, and how happy the clan and everything are, and you know, the expectations they have for him. And Itachi is just, he's pissed, upset, and angry, and you can kind of see the hate that he starts to grow and have for his clan, because all his dad pretty much is going on about is clan, and Itachi, like, he's just getting pissed off because his friend died, and instead of his father sitting there trying to talk to him in an emotional, supportive way, he's just going on and on about how proud he is of him activating his bloody eyes. And Itachi doesn't want to hear that. Okay, he wants some bloody consolation, some satisfaction, some decent moral advice and support, and he's not getting it, and it's pissing him off. And you can kind of see the seeds being planted here of his attitude later on, when he starts to lose, you know, not give a shit about the Uchiha clan anymore, and more about the village. Because at this point, yeah, you can see that developing, and it's great. And then you have Shisui coming in, and you've got the moment with Sasuke with Itachi poking him on the head, telling him that, you know, he's got a mission with Shisui, and them two go off. And the majority of the episode is just these two interacting and working together. And you'd think Itachi would be a genius at the outdoor kind of stuff that he's doing with Shisui and his training exercise, but instead he's learning a lot from Shisui himself. I mean, he's learning how to track from Shisui. He's learning about this whole idea about a person's mindset. Itachi thinks that he needs to be very good at tracking, but Shisui kind of gives him a different lesson about how, like, you know, that's important as well. But what's even more important is if you can understand a person's mindset, then you'll be able to stop them beforehand. And again, more seeds being planted into the character that Itachi would grow up to become. And again, like, just Shisui just sitting there and teaching him all of the stuff. A great moment was when like, you know, because Shisui throughout the episode keeps quoting and saying how exceptional Itachi is. And he even tells, like, Itachi, like, you know, he thought he was great and everything, you know, but like, he's happy at the fact that there are things that Itachi doesn't know, and Itachi even admits it, like, you know, there are things I thought I was good at, but I'm not, and I've learned a lot more today from you from from doing all of this stuff that we're doing. And Shisui is he's proud, he's happy, he's like, I'm happy that I can help you with this stuff. I'm glad that I'm teaching you something. Like you don't know it's not like you know everything already. So it kind of goes to show how young Itachi still is, how green he is, and how smart and developed Shisui is. I mean, he's a Jonin for Christ's sake, and he's older, and you can kind of see that mentality that Shisui projects onto Itachi. And then, of course, the episode ends with them trying to rescue an Anbu Leaf member who they were trying to track, and he's getting attacked by the Foundation members, who Shisui is pretty much aware of. And you've got him and Itachi teaming up to take these three guys out. And yeah, just a great episode, because you've got this whole mentality here, like, about how these guys, they're protecting the village from the shadows. And again, that's kind of an idea that ends up being planted into Itachi again. But also there's the idea of an enemy and not an enemy, having the same viewpoint, but going about it with different actions. And that's kind of another thing that ends up being planted into Itachi's mind as he's thinking about it. And just the action sequences themselves, I can't really go over how great they were. I mean, there's this one moment where Itachi's fighting this chick when she's using like wires and shit, poison wires, to try and trap him, and he ends up trapping her instead. And it's just again great moment. Shisui using his teleportation jutsu. That that jutsu, we've heard about him from like a lot from the characters in the previous episodes, like particularly the 5 Kage arc, I think, when they were talking about Shishui's eye and what powers it had. And we kind of see that power being used here, with him splitting up into multiple clones and just running very fast around his opponents, and the opponents not being able to detect which one is the real Shisui until it's too late. And it's great moment there, great moment when Itachi just honestly, I can't go into proper detail of this. You need to watch this episode to see it for yourself, to see how good it is. Because seriously, trust me, this episode is worth it. It's really, really good. And just the ending with Shisui taking Itachi like back home and holding him on his back and explaining to him how like he sees himself as his older brother, and how he would never, there's one thing that's for certain, is that no matter how different people's viewpoints is, that he would never betray Itachi. And it's just a good way to close this episode off. And yeah, man, like, just great, I can't just go into more detail explaining how good this is. Like, I'm watching this and I'm just thinking, wow, compared to every episode we've seen so far since, I guess the best episode since this would have been, the last best episode since this would have been Kakashi vs Obito, when it comes to the animation and the artwork sort of. This episode was kind of similar to that, and the Madara vs Shinobi Alliance. That's how good this episode was. You could really tell they pulled their shit with this. And next week's episode as well looks just as good, with the whole Danzo and third Hokage situation, and Itachi becoming an Anbu member. Because by the end of this episode, Itachi is an Anbu member now. So it kind of jumps ahead, obviously, in time. And I don't know if that was a shot from the Kakashi Anbu Black Ops episode they took from with Itachi in it, because that's what it felt like. Because you see Yamato at the very end, with all the other Anbu members. I take it Kakashi was one of the people in a mask, or maybe not. I'm not too sure about that, because he might have come in later, didn't he? Or no, he didn't. He was already a member there. So yeah, I don't know if that was taken from that, but if it is, it's a nice way to connect that filler arc with Kakashi and this arc with Itachi together. So I'm curious to see whether they use any more bits from that and use it in here. But yeah, I'm curious to see what next episode's going to be like. It's called the Moonlight Light or something, Moonlight Lit or something like that. So I don't know if that's the massacre part. Maybe, I don't know if we're getting to that. It feels like it's really rushing through. I mean, there's a lot of parts from the novel I don't think they've adapted properly, which I don't mind, to be honest. I mean, I'm liking what we're seeing so far. It's getting to the point very quickly, and it's developing Itachi in such a way where he's never been developed before. Itachi, to my opinion, is a very overrated character. I think I said underrated once. I didn't mean that. I meant overrated. He's very overrated. Everyone always rates Itachi up to be this big, important character. But the truth is, he's never had a backstory. He's never really had a proper, good, decent backstory. And what this filler arc is doing in particular is giving him that necessary backstory. People think they know him, but we really don't. We didn't even know he had a lover, for Christ's sake. We don't even know who his lover was. We didn't know what got him into this position or into this mindset, or why he had to go through all of this crap. We don't know what made him into the person he is. And what these episodes have done so far is tell us that, and that's great, because it makes us look at Itachi in a whole new light. We looked at him in a way, but now we're looking at them in a whole different new way, and that's great. And I think these episodes are really necessary as long as they keep this kind of momentum up. And so far, 4 episodes in, it's kept the momentum up high, and it looks like it's just going to keep on going higher and higher. So I'm hoping this arc stays good as it is. And if if it's true that this is only going to be 9 episodes long, then we only have 5 more left. Obviously, there is no episode next week, sadly. Yep, no episode next week, guys. Let me just tell you that. But the week after that, we're getting episode 5 of this Ambu arc, and we're also getting a new opening and ending. And that opening, guys, I can't wait to see that, because it's done by the guys who did the second opening, I think, in the original Naruto series. And also because it may or may not tell us if canon is coming back soon or not. So there's that to look forward to. But yeah, can't wait for, April 7th now, because that's when the next episode comes out. But anyway, today's episode, great bloody episode. If you love Naruto Shippuden, watch it. If you love Itachi, watch it. If you want to see a brilliantly animated episode, watch it. Fucking great. Watch the other ones as well. They're not that bad. The first 2 are great. The third one was okay-ish, too good. This one is just the best one so far. So yeah, give it a go. And as usual, like and subscribe, and I shall see you when I shall see you. Take care and bye, guys.